What's up, guys? We're live again. Back again. We're doing our live trade review. Today, we have made, I have made $600. We, why? I don't know. Did you win last week?
Did I have a winning week?
Yeah, last week? No. Okay. Well, let me tell you something, guys. We broke our losing streak. All right. Let me pull that up for you. Great day. We got a $600 win. Can you believe that? Fuck yeah. So we're going to do a little trade review. Yesterday was not the greatest day, but we're going to do our little report card. All right. So I'm going to go through the process of how we analyze our wins and losses. Go to training panel, trade station. Right. So this account's in like $30 of drawdown. $30, more like 600, because I was in profit on this account, but let's go over it, right? So I'm going to look at what's going on here. All right. Price today. What did it do? Started bearish. Started with the day bearish. All tech stocks besides Tesla were down. Right? Simple confluence. Right? So we're bearish for right now. We had a 100-point opening. Reminder, at all time highs, and it was a 200-point open in overnight session. All right, little reminder of what was going on. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about right here. Look at that. That is egregious. This is horrid to look at.
That's when the contract was switched.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, contracts were switched. It switched today?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. That's something I need to know. We didn't use the Max 7 today. Because Max 7 would have told us to go long.
Yeah.
So glad we didn't look at that. If you guys don't know what the Max 7 is, it's just all the common tech stocks and put in to get together just to show what kind of indicator we're looking at. An indication if it's a buyer or seller type of day. All right. So our first thought today was break and retest of the lower opening range. That was my confluence. I saw this break, went up, and then we saw this big burst of volume. I called it on stream that the volume wasn't big enough, and I mean New York was right here, so it was rejecting New York at the same time. Glad we didn't enter. We're also looking at the wrong book map because orders switched off, right? Not the orders, the contracts have switched, right? If you want to take a look at that, you can do that right here. Right. So at this time, it's frozen. Right. So at this time, it wouldn't have made sense to go long. Right. There was no orders to the top side. There were some, and then obviously those disappeared. Exactly. Right. And then we get a good support level that came in at about 9 in the morning. All right. once those order support came in, should have waited. I thought we should have waited, but we didn't. I entered in early. Saba entered in early. We should have waited until to see what price could have done at these support levels. It could have mitigated some of our drawdown. We didn't end up losing, but we were in a drawdown for most of the trading session until the last push downward, which was this right here, this leg. It was about 30 points.
Yeah.
All right. So we can highlight this was a base level support. Order book, based level support, right? That base level support came in. We came into that base level support, right? So my original entry was right here, right? Off of the rejection of New York. New York rejected and entered in, right? Entered in for 4. When the range is kind of smaller, I think it's about 50 points, right? Less than 50 points. So we entered in for 4, right? Entered in for 4. We're seeing that we're under overnight. Give me a second. At overnight. Under overnight as well, right? We're under overnight, and then we take our first profit, right? We broke this low right here, and then we took out, broke the low, took half of position out. All right, I was talking with Seba about this a few minutes ago. You have to identify what kind of range you're in, right? If you're in a smaller rangey type of situation, don't be expecting 100-point swing to the downside, to the upside, right? It's not going to happen. You have to identify what the market is giving you at that time, right? If the market is giving you, what is this? This is 40 points. Expect a 40-point move downward if you're expecting bearish pressure, expect that 40 move downward. Don't be expecting a 100-point move to all the way to the downside, right? That's an unrealistic scenario, right? I mean, it could happen. Market's completely random. But I mean, with the volume that's coming in at this certain time, do you really think we're going to reach that point? No, probably not, right? So you have to take that account. And I took that account right here when I re-entered in for a couple more contracts. I don't think it was the wisest idea, but once we came out into that support right here, I kind of knew it was going to be a better outlook of what's going on, right? So we got some re-entries right here. I should have waited. I should have waited for that better price. I did get a good price right here too, right? I was originally in for 8 and then got in for a total of 10, right? Re-entries under all VWAPs and bearish momentum was likely to continue, right? Right. In this case, it was justifiable to be re-entering for a little bit heavier contracts because if the volume is so slow that we're not getting more than a 30-point move, a 10-point loss on or 10-point stop would on 10 micros would result of a loss of no more than, I think it was at $300, right? And I was already in profit too, so I took some profits out, right? So that gave me a little bit extra wiggle room to work with, right? So even if we did come into overnight right here, I still probably would have been able to stay in that position, or at least I could have got out for half that position to give me enough wiggle room to make sure we stay under overnight VWAP. But since we've been breaking that overnight VWAP and we haven't even been close to reaching it, I think this is the closest we've been. I mean, you can kind of take away from that fact that we're probably not going to hit it, right? We're going to be in a kind of a more bearish environment, right? A 200-point open more than likely you kind of are in the premium, right? If you're in the premium, expect the downside movement, because I didn't see much bullish pressure besides maybe this little leg move upward,
Yeah.
but it wasn't even enough to hit that structure, right? That was my original stop loss, was right here at this structure, right here. You had that stop, it gave you enough wiggle room, and guess what? Guess what that stop loss was? 13 points. 13 points. Are you okay with a 13-point stop if you're going a little bit heavier? I absolutely say yes, right? Does it have, if you want it to be at overnight, yeah, go in for 5. It's still going to be the same amount of risk, but you're giving yourself more leeway. So that's not a bad idea. But if you're going to do that, don't expect 3 times the size of that, right? Of that stop loss to be hit, because that's more than likely an unlikely scenario, right? And then we did eventually reject off of New York, right? New York right here. And right here. All right. Final rejections off New York. VWAP moved price lower, right? And that right here gave us the final key, right? And we also have this session low VWAP, right? That end up rejecting as well. And then we did take full profits right here, right? Full profit hit, right? Would have been wiser to get off for half the position right here. Yes, I would say 100%. Why I didn't is that we broke it very, very strongly, right? So I'm assuming we're gonna sweep this level right here, because there were orders at that level, right? Or I was, I think that's exactly where my target was, right? It was just that sweep right there. So I took out and I did hit that full daily profit target, right? Hit my consistency rule. Not going to be worried about that. All right. So at the end of the day, I mean, as terrible as today looked like, it was still analyzable, right? You could still analyze what direction its price is going, and then you have to just adjust for the noise, right? Because this is all right here is noise, and then once you finally get that leg downward, that's when it really hits, right? You anticipated that 30-point range, right? And you got that 30-point win, right? If you were expecting a 100-point range, at the very least, you take profits at this range, right? Because you have to just anticipate what's going to go and happen next, right? Market setting 30-point ranges. I'm going to have a 30-point take profit, right? And then, I mean, if you're entering at great prices, your stop's going to be lower too, right? You're going to be risking a little bit less, so you can enter in for more, right? Depending on what your stop loss is, So, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we got that analyzed for the most part. Right. I don't do the markups and entry reasonings because I have it set in my trade, right? The watch list, NVIDIA, and Tesla, but they didn't apply for today. They still wanted to go down, right? So it could have been a different majority of different collections of stock that outweighed NVIDIA and Tesla, which is weird to say because usually they're the ones moving NASDAQ, but not today. Not today. Right, news for today, we had CPI at 7:30. Not much movement. Main focus of the day, green. Just a win. That's all we were asking for, right? Trade management, great management, adjusted based off what the market was telling me, which is a small range. In this case it was justifiable to enter in for a little more than usual. All right. Stop set at previous structure, and it's accounted for the noise just enough to hit full TP. All right. All right. Didn't expect any big moves today. Exit reasoning, full TP at daily low. Could have done less, none. Besides taking profits a little bit earlier, just in case the noise started to affect the trade, right? Marcus with the trading name, that's already done. And then trading errors and costs, none today. Biggest lesson of the day. Don't go against VWAP. Go against VWAP and
Die.
yeah. And don't set unrealistic markers on where the market will go. Trade of the day. Just continuous bearish movement to low of day. First win in a while, so feels good. All right. So that's pretty much it. 620 for today, one trade for today. That's all you need. That's all you need. If you're taking 10 trades a day, I am concerned for you, right? I might start posting these links of my trade analysis into my bio. I think that'd be probably a good idea to have people be able to see how I mark up my trades and then what kind of trades I'm taking as well, right? Especially in market conditions like these. They're not great. I'll give you that, but you can't blame the market conditions for your shit trading. Because the trading system will work, but if you're not working, I'm sorry, it's just gonna look even worse, right? At all-time highs, a lot of it's randomness, but it's, even in randomness, there is a degree of some kind of like, what's the word for it? In uncertainty, there's a little degree of certainty of where price is more likely to go, right? There's a higher probability either or, right, of what can happen, right? Price still moves up and down, and you could still guess if it's going up or down. All you have to do is click buy or sell, right? There's only two buttons There's only two choices in the market: is buy or sell. And as long as you could be on the right side of it, that's an edge, right? And then trade management, all that kind of stuff is based on what kind of strategy you're trading and at what time, at what market conditions, and all that kind of good shit. But trading as an execution is simple, but you have to put the work behind it. And this is the work, right? Analyzing what you did right, analyzing what you did wrong, analyzing what you could have done better, right? I did my pre-market, I read the entire trading plan to you guys this morning. I'm going over my trade right now. I'm going to rewatch my trade later, see how my emotions were during that trade. I think I was off a little bit. I was getting scared. That's not a good thing. I got to make sure I come in tomorrow and know that I shouldn't be scared that if a loss happened, it happens, right? It's just an account. You have to mentally prepare yourself for these kinds of things, right? You have to prepare yourself for the market because there's someone else who is more prepared than you, has more money than you, is smarter than you, probably went to some Ivy League school, that probably is just going to take your money away because you decided to go short because you were unprepared. And in reality, we were supposed to be long that day. And he bought your contract, went long, took your money, left you in the shedder, right? Because you didn't do the work, right? If you're trying to beat some of the best people at this game, you have to be the best at this game, right? And that includes the small stuff like this, right? I get it. I'm the same way. I was lacking the last 2 weeks, and guess what? I was losing the last 2 weeks because I didn't do my analysis correctly. I didn't come to the market, correctly. I didn't read over my trading plan. I didn't, understand what was going on. I wasn't following my rules. I was going against VWAP. I wasn't setting my stops too high. I was over leveraging, whatever it may be. Those all can be fixed. And that will create your edge. As long as you fix the issues that are causing you to lose, you will win, right? It's based off data and it's based on how you are, right? How prepared you are, how hard you work before the market opens, because executing while in the market is the easiest thing you do because all you have to do is click a button. So,
yeah,
that's all you have to do, right? So, this is going to conclude today's trade review, and then I'll post my DCR, my daily report card, into what's it called?
The description.
Into the description. Yeah. So hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you had a winner today.